Let me ask you something really quickly. Have you ever laid in bed and just not been able to sleep? You try to clear your mind, to count sheep, or maybe wear an eye mask or maybe some earbuds, but your mind is just racing. It's pretty much like we're trying to put it in park and turn off our car engine, but our brain is just trying to step on the gas way too aggressively. Yeah, well, you're not the only one, Chief. I'm not gonna lie to you. Overthinking is definitely a common issue presented in a lot of Americans. So much so that there are probably a dozen studies that I could pull up on this, but the American Psychology Association in 2025 called stress a crisis in America. So what are we to do? Are we to just sit down, lay in our bed and give up? Hell no, because you and I, we're both humans, okay? And we're trying to get better on this channel. So in this video, I'm going to show you why overthinking has literally been sucking away your happiness. And I'm going to show you how to flip it on its head so we can become more confident, more calm, and more productive as we go on in this life. What's up, you guys? It's your boy, iswearimtrying, and I, for one, can definitely tell you that I hate overthinking things. I don't know if what I have is clinical or not, but there's definitely something that's not right in me. Because I'll ruminate for days and days and days on one single thing. It's actually pretty crazy. So since I've been trying to become more productive over the past couple of years, and I'm doing a pretty good job at it, might I add, here are a couple of methods to the madness that I've devised that have definitely helped me throughout my life in these past couple years. Today, I'm gonna focus on two things, but if you guys like this type of video, let me know and I'll give you a little bit more, because there's definitely a lot of weird stuff that I do that helps me little by little, percent by percent. All right, so let's get into number one. Number one is something that I like to call word vomit. If you have any form of ADHD or ADD, this might be the one for you, my guy. I want you to either have a notebook or your phone, whichever one is easier for you, probably the phone. Let's keep it real. And write down whenever you feel like your mind is just screaming at you. Sometimes I'll be laying down in my bed or whatever and I'm doing something that I know I'm not supposed to be doing, or I'm basically putting something off, and I can hear my own conscious yelling at me in the back, like, get your shit together, get locked in. And that right there is what I want you to write down. I want you to write down when you can catch yourself screaming at yourself mentally and why you're doing it. Literally try to contextualize what you're feeling and what you're hearing and understanding and put it onto a page. It's actually really cathartic, I promise you. And after you do this a couple of times for a couple of days, I want you to sit down for 5 minutes and actually analyze what you're writing. Because most likely, if you've never done this exercise, you will learn something about yourself really quickly. I'm talking about this could take you literally less than a couple minutes. How does the information come out on the page? Is your handwriting neat? Are you organized? Or do they look like schizo notes that I wrote on the wall? Both of them are okay though, by the way. Guys, before we get into the rest of the video, please hit me with a like, share, sub, comment. Hit me with some motion, baby. We're trying to get to 250 subs, hopefully 500 very soon. So help me, and hopefully I can help you and get 1% better. All right, back to the video. Are the things that are showing up on the page people you want to spend more time with? Or are they tasks that you've been putting off for weeks, days, months, or even years now? After you've done that, I want you to ask yourself, what do you think would happen if you actually do the things that your conscious is telling you to do? Would it maybe lower the anxiety and stress you have on a day-to-day basis? Would you actually enjoy the time that you spend with your friends and family? Or maybe it's just that finals paper that you've been ignoring and you know it's gonna come back to bite you in the ass when you have to do it in less than 48 hours. I might have been responsible for doing that in college, who knows, who knows? What you're trying to do at this point is pretty much you're learning a new language. Your brain has been screaming at you and trying to help you and push you in a way that is going to better yourself. But you've just been putting it off into the back of your mind as like meowing pretty much, or a baby crying. You just shove that shit down, push it in the back of your head and back of your chest, and you're never gonna pay attention to it, right or wrong, okay? Today is the day that I'm telling you to peek back and peer into what you have inside of your mind. And after getting to know yourself a little bit more, which is pretty much what we're doing here, you'll finally be able to speak, read, and even understand your own mind's shorthand. There was once a study made where they had two groups of people. In one group, they offered 6 chocolates to, and they told them to pick and choose whichever one they wanted. And the other group had 30 options. And they had the same deal. They can pick and choose which single chocolate they wanted. Let me ask you this. Who do you think enjoyed their chocolates more? I'll give you 5 seconds. Now, since we're silly humans, if you answered the group that had 30 chocolates, you'd be wrong. Why? What they believed is happening is that humans, when they're presented with too many choices, they kind of start getting overwhelmed. If there's too many options on the menu, you start tripping. You don't know what to do anymore. You don't know what's good, what's bad, what's meh, what's mid. So your brain just kind of goes into like this overload mode. In other words, they ended up asking the groups how satisfied they were with their choices. And the group that had more options rated much lower on their satisfaction levels because they knew and they assumed that there was probably a better chocolate out there somewhere. In other words, if you're looking at your life and you have way too many things you could be doing or way too many things that you want to be doing, you're probably not in a good space. So start itemizing and start asking yourself what it is you actually want. And in regards to actually doing too much, I also have a video where I talk about that a little bit. I'll put it up here somewhere, but if you want to get more into what I actually think about this, you can hit that video up after you watch this one, okay? And now we're gonna go to number 2, social media. Relax. I'm not gonna sit here as the oldest Gen Zer on the planet and tell you that you should hop off your phone and uninstall Instagram. That's not gonna happen, okay? We know it's not gonna happen. So I'm not gonna ask you to do that. But what I want you to understand is that you've most likely been comparing yourself for years to other people on social media. And maybe you haven't even realized it yet. Comparison is a thief of joy. And I promise you that if you looked online on social media and you've seen someone that's younger, hotter, wealthier, and just more successful than you, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And you can probably relate to this. Social media literally gives us too many options. The comparison lifestyle has literally taken away happiness from so many people, and they don't even know it. It's really sad to think about. So what I want you to do is I want you to wake up and understand that if you ever feel jealousy, insufficiency, or anything like that while on social media, you're not alone, and there is a solution to that. The solution is actually understanding why you feel that way. So mix this in with number 1 and ask yourself why. Why do you feel this way? Why do you feel mad when you see that person's post or you see your friend's post, or why do you feel jealous? So many times I know you're scrolling on social media and you don't even register half of the shit that is being presented to you, and that's okay. Just understand that there's a lot of negative feelings that will come through without you even noticing either if you're just doom scrolling. It is normal to compare yourselves to other people automatically because, I mean, why wouldn't you? We only have power over one brain, so it's very common to be like, hey, I wonder how that person measures up to me or how I measure up to that person. But what I don't want you to do is, I don't want you to use social media and instead of getting confident and motivation from it, you end up getting pissed off and angry without you even understanding why. So you can use it and you can feed your ego, but just don't get tilted because at the end of the day, it's all for show. We all know it is. The world we live in is very complicated. So the fact that we overthink things, it's not a surprise, people. It's expected. The most important thing here to remember is that you are your own person. You have your own thoughts, you have your own aspirations, and you should have your own dreams. So go out and try to accomplish at least some of them. Don't allow your caveman brain to just feedback loop you into submission. No, I want you to get on that horse and I want you to dominate that bitch, okay? Getting 1% better every day is not easy. And I know you and I know this from experience. So like I just said, get on that horse, keep trying to get 1% better, and you already know what it is. It's been your boy, So I'm Trying. Stay safe out there, because it's fucking crazy. Alright? Peace!
Now I'm rapping every single day. Great man, smoking on that green ganja hay. Hey Sean, I hit you with the spin move. Rotation, different types of water on my neck. Hydration, devil in my DM, shoot my shot just like I'm Rain Man. If we feeling broke, then fuck it, we might do the rain dance. I don't work for money, I just sign, pay me